All right, welcome to the next episode of Discipline, Desire, Dedication. My name's Dakota Lang, along co-host Garrett Cotton. Guppy Guidry with us today. What's up, bro?
What's going on, me guys? Nice to see you all, huh?
Yeah, I ain't seen you in
Months, huh?
what
company
was that?
conference.
Company conference.
It was
January.
It was
company conference. You coming to Cancun? No.
No, I don't think I'm making it.
He didn't
No.
qualify.
I didn't qualify.
qualify.
I think I was more closer to qualifying as a closer than a
Yeah,
As a market owner.
You
Yeah.
beat Jamaica though.
Yeah, no, that's gonna happen. Yeah, that's
thank
gonna
you,
happen.
geez.
That's what I'm excited.
Heck
for.
yeah! Well, we were excited. We were talking about it before. With the last time you came on the pod, it was right after your Golden Door, correct? Right, but it was before you went to Nashville, right?
I think this was before. I want to say this was like kind of close to the wintertime. I thought. I thought
Yeah,
it was.
I think so. It might have been right after you left to go to Nashville. I can't remember.
Before it was before because we were talking about like what it takes to become a market owner because I think this is when Lizzie got South Denver.
No, Lizzie was in July.
Yeah, and then he was November.
November, yeah.
Yeah, this was before I went to Nashville.
Yeah, it was definitely before you went to Nashville. That's what we're really excited to talk about. Just kind of talk about some trials and tribulations that you went through, from opening up that market in Nashville, and obviously now you've grown it up, doing tremendously. Y'all projected, 950, 920 right now today? Close to $1 million?
I believe so, yeah.
And y'all had a big run at the beginning of last month. I saw y'all are, going
Pacing
up
really
there.
big.
Yeah, pacing really big. And it kind of leveled out a little bit.
Yeah.
But got some people qualified. So you got another closer qualified. Kind of talk about that. Let's go day one in Nashville, bro. Get down there. What's,
the real works of the day.
the real work.
It was
Yeah.
dirty.
I don't want to hear the glory.
No. It was probably one of the most struggle times I think I've ever went through in I wouldn't say life in general because everyone goes through struggles in life, but the real truth about it, it's funny with Kyle and Levi. We get to Nashville and we're in an Airbnb, like a 4-bedroom Airbnb. It's like me, Chandler, Harry, and then Jace Hamilton, and he has a blown out knee.
He wasn't even working.
Yeah, it's not. So it's basically just me, Chandler, and Harry in an Airbnb. We're running meetings in the Airbnb. It's new hood, and then we go from Airbnb to at one point we're running meetings in a coffee shop. We're running meetings in my apartment complex. We're downstairs. It was really the coffee shop that's the most craziest one because at this point I was getting really frustrated with the group. And I'm in a coffee shop, and you have these a group of guys going crazy in a coffee shop. Yeah. And Riley's like, what are they doing? But it was definitely a struggle. 3 or 4 guys technically in a fresh new state, fresh hood, and it didn't start off great. We had bad. I think it was morally, mentally, we're starting off terrible there. Just we were so used to the Colorado and stuff like that, and if you don't just put it in the back of your mind and focus what's in front of you, you're never going to see what's truly there.
And being in Nashville too, y'all did go out a few nights and y'all kind of explored the city.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't do it. It wasn't an every night thing, but it was probably one night out of the week.
The weekends.
Yeah,
the weekends usually would end up. I see some stories.
Yeah, we weren't doing it Monday through Friday, that kind of stuff. But we would go Saturday night. Yeah, we kind of got a little bit too comfortable there, and we didn't start off hot. To tell you the truth, for the first 3 months, I'm going to say we were only doing
Talk about your mindset though, going through that, right? I mean, it's easy to reflect on it now and just be we just weren't starting off too hot. What was your mindset during that moment to make it struggle?
Weak. I mean, that's the most direct way to put it. It was a weak mindset.
What were you blaming?
100%. The city of Nashville and the state of Tennessee thinking that these people don't want to buy windows and and the prices. I would say those were the main 2 things I blamed was hood and money. The main 2 things I was blaming.
A lot of the uncontrollables, because I remember getting on a call with you at one point and you were talking about the install stuff, install problems with there's brick on every home. And, so a lot of the uncontrollables were really getting to you rather than just focusing on what you knew.
Absolutely. But that's crazy just thinking about what my mindset was when it was first happening to even now when stuff happens. I'm already getting blown up on phone calls for back end problems and I'm just I'll deal with it. It's gonna be fine. We're cool. But it took me probably about 3 or 4 months to kind of kick my own ass and realize dude, if you don't just shut the hell up and just put your head down and just grind, you're never going to make it. And
Dakota had to do that same exact thing. You experienced failure in Austin with what was it? It was probably like your third month or something like that.
Well, no, the thing was we had 2 dips, and the first one was in September, and we started February 19th. But it was more or less, we never really had any big dips until September, and that was right before we hit the $1 million month in October. But we were constantly competing with Denver, and that was all. I was not going for Denver. That was all I cared about, right?
It's always second place.
I know. Yeah, I was close to the top. I couldn't have let that happen.
Yeah, you was closing over there. And the thing is similar stuff, right? And Denver, you don't have a lot of specialties. Texas, you have a shit ton.
It's Nashville.
Yeah, exactly. They're everywhere. Specialty single hungs, continuous arches, everything. You know what I mean? And you start getting into your head about that type of stuff. And like Cotton said, you just blame the uncontrollables. But it took me just one day just getting tired of losing and just saying, I went out there myself and knocked doors and had a self-set close, and I was like, the knockers start trying to sell you on this different hood, and if you allow it, you will sell yourself on it. You know what I mean?
It was kind of similar to what was happening, and that's when that was just a mindset. It was just like a weak mindset. It was like nothing else. Like, I'm not going to sit here and throw stuff up your ass about it. That's the truth. I was a weak mindset. I was blaming hood, blaming the money, the prices and stuff like that. Yeah, all the install stuff. And, I told him I was like 3 or 4 months of depression, dude. I was just like, can I do this? Like, is this even can I make this happen? Truthfully, right. I was in the mud. And then finally, obviously I know Garrett became regional. He came up there. I think before he came up, that's when we let go. We fired
a lot of people.
Yeah, we fired Cohen, Gage, Ryan, a lot of people we thought were cancer culture to us, and we got back down again to it was just me, Chandler, Harry, and Chase, 4 of us after that. And we all looked at each other in the meeting and go, well, here we go. It's time to turn around. And yeah, within a couple months, finally, of just putting our head down, grinding, Garrett
Talk about that transition, right? Because I felt it whenever I went and opened up Austin. You're going down to a new city with your boys, you know what I mean? When you're a closer, especially, even as a new market owner, you're still consistently in the field. But as you grow, you're not in the field as much. But having, your boys coming down with you open the market, talk about about managing them right off the jump.
I figured this was going to be something that y'all brought up to me. It's pros and cons, really more like cons and pros. And it's hard. It was hard because I realized too when you get so close with them, it's not even business anymore. It's
and
just
y'all live together.
Yeah, that's what stemmed everything. It stemmed everything from the 5 months of us living together when I should have pushed them out sooner than later. And I actually remember me and Garrett, when I was a closer, we got into it in one meeting because we were trying to basically separate everyone, which I can see what he was coming from, but it was just like, hey, I recruited these guys. They came down for me. Why am I going to give so-and-so Harry, so-and-so Chase and Chandler? But, it stemmed from the beginning. I let them get too comfortable with me as a friendship, so it makes it harder to set boundaries with friends that you're really close to. And I think that's just in life in general sometimes.
And I think it's the timing, too, because you think about how many of the hours of the day are we balls to the wall performance windows working with each other? You're in the morning meeting together, and you see each other on the doors a couple times in between knocking, and then if they see an appointment or something like that. And then you go home. When you go home, y'all might be talking about work, but when y'all in a house where each of y'all pay the same amount in rent, y'all are splitting bills and stuff like that. At 90% of your day, whenever you're at home and you're just with the boys, y'all equals.
Yeah.
Right? But then that 10% of the day when you're supposed to be the boss, now they got to look at you like a boss, But it was just the majority. When you live with somebody and they're all equals, I can only imagine this. I mean, we used to, that's why I was pushing so hard to get them out of your house quick.
No, absolutely. They didn't pay any rent, by the way, guys.
They didn't? Never. And that's even worse. You let them feel like a roommate. For that long, anyways. Yeah. For 5-6 months.
But it's still I've gotten way better with it now. I say that because I'll get hints from Harry. Harry will say something. He's like, dude, you're such an asshole. And it's because I have to be an asshole to him.
Yep.
It's because I got tired of being the friendly guy. But being there with the 4 guys as friends, trying to rebuild this office, pros and cons are pros. I know they're going to have my back. They're my guys. But my con is they're not going to see it as, hey, this is a business development.
Yeah.
This is hey, I'm helping my buddy out start up this office. And once it gets up and running, then we can sit back and relax and we're fine. Then it was never looked at as hey, you're my business partners. you're in this business with me to grow it, not to help me just because you like me enough to do it.
Yeah.
And I think when I was even looking in the office, I know my Louisiana guys will always stick with me unless I obviously fire them and they quit. So I always know they're going to have my backs.
With those people, though, and just on that topic, I believe that it doesn't matter how much pressure you put on them because they're not going to quit on us. You know, that was the way I looked at Dakota and Lizzie and you and Dylan. Is like, there's nothing I could do to make y'all quit. Yeah. Like, I could literally walk you out to the plank and, like, I could push you a little bit. You still coming back on. You know? But it was the truth, though.
Yeah. So I think one of the biggest things is it has its pros and cons with having, you know, the Louisiana guys, because you know that they're not going to quit. But at the same time, like, they still have to realize that you will continue to grow without them. If they feel like they are irreplaceable, like they can't be replaced because they know they're not going anywhere, then they can always hold you back. You know what I mean? The second that you drop the hammer and you're like, hey, dude, like, you know, friendship is friendship, business is business. But if you get to the point where you're holding me back, then you got to go. You know what I mean? And I think when you're able to draw that line, because, I mean, Jared, you know, I love him with that. I mean, that was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. You know what I mean? And it was a mutual agreement, but building up to that point, you could feel the energy between us just because, like, we weren't on the same vision of what we were trying to build. And, you know, but whenever you do get that line drawn, it sets the expectation for everybody else in the room.
Yeah. Have you noticed it to your position yet? So do you really feel like you are in control of everybody in the room's opportunity?
When we first began,
is it a different mindset now versus then?
No, it's literally 9 and day now, and you can go in my office and just feel the tension in the office of knowing it's in a different environment.
It needs to be that. Yeah, even going into Denver this past week, I walked in and people were like on the edge of their seats, and I was a motivated type of meeting, not a come rip ass type meeting. Like, it was like, guys, y'all are killing it. Y'all are the best golfers in the company. Like, we know this. You keep doing it. And then at the end of it, they pulled me to the side and they were like, "Yeah, I thought you were gonna like get onto him." And I'm like, "No, dude, y'all are doing great. Like, why would I do that?" But it's just everybody, they respect me because they know that I will come for your neck. Yeah, you know. But
I finally earned that because I'll come home even with like. And it's really mostly with my Indeed people that, and now we're still pretty close, but I do have it's a very, very like drawn line of business, and I'm cool with you outside of work. But like Sage and Lorenzo will come home and they're like, dude, these people are like scared of you. They're like even I like the Simone guy that I have. He's like a big old guy. He's like telling me, he's like, dude, I'm scared you're gonna fire me. Yeah. Like, he is. And like, people are on, and it's a good thing and it can be a bad thing, but it shows that, hey, like, if I don't live up to the expectations and do what like Guppy's telling me to do, I'm probably going to end up on the way out because they've watched so many people come in, and I am kind of quick to fire. I know you can do it, but I just have a culture in my office now that I've built up, and I'm almost like a mother bear or father bear that I'm protecting it, that I won't let something like cancer culture hurt it. I've seen it happen.
Yeah, I've been talking about micromanaging a lot lately. So would you feel like you, in a sense, do micromanage your office?
No, I don't think I micromanage it. I feel like I'm more of it's weird. I wouldn't say I micromanage.
Yeah,
I guess it depends.
It's kind of, well, I would say now today you're probably more involved on a higher level. Like, you're probably deeper dive into like zeros, like more involvement with the knockers. Yeah. So in a sense, more micromanaging now than you were when you first got there.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is because Grant Cardone, one of his books, it talks about like micromanaging is only a bad thing if you don't want to ensure success.
Yeah. Okay. I see what you're
saying. So in our industry, you know, success is live or die. You know, like it sucks losing. We know what it feels like to lose. So we want to win so bad. But now there's more involvement with you for the day-to-day, with everybody in your office, with each individual person. And now that's why we're seeing more production. Because it's kind of like heart surgery is the analogy that Grant Cardone says. If you're having open heart surgery, would you want somebody to micromanage every movement and every cut, every incision in your heart?
I mean, absolutely.
Yeah, we want to ensure success. So it's the involvement that you have now, and now everybody sees that you're so involved and you care so much about the success and that's why they respect you, is because they know that if it doesn't go right, then you're coming for them. You're getting rid of that person.
I think that makes a lot of sense too, as well, is because I think some people just Sage and Lorenzo says it too. They love it. Lorenzo was telling me, because he's now the president of K, and he was like, dude,
cool.
Yeah, he's
Lorenzo?
like, Lorenzo is,
Damn,
and so he's like, you give me so much more like ideas and energy. He's like, dude, it's just your passion. You can tell like you're just super passionate about what you're talking about, because I don't stop moving, even if I get done with my my ass chewing or my motivation. Like, I'm walking around the room the entire time. But I've definitely noticed that, because I'll have knockers now and closers both send me zeros. And once they send me zeros, I'm then doing voice recordings right to them, like, immediately.
Yeah.
And then they love it, because they'll send me a zero like, hey, I thought I could set this guy. Tell me what you think. I'll listen to it while I'm in the truck, just because I'm in the truck most of the time. And I just send them a voice recording back. And they notice like I'm very involved with them. I care a lot about the guys, so they're going to give me effort back if I'm showing them that I care about them.
And I've always said too, what you put into people is what you'll get in return. And sometimes it's really easy to be overwhelmed with the day-to-day or the big stressors and stuff, and we don't respond to that zero. And you don't take it, you don't acknowledge them or something like that. And those are the people who fizzle out, because they don't get the attention that's
But honestly,
needed.
bro, at the position at where you're at in your office right now, it's the funnest time.
You know, right now it's been the most fun. Yeah, it's the most fun, and I've realized that it's crazy. I hate how long it took for me to get this way. But I've learned a lot, which is a very good thing. I've built up a lot, but there's just so much more that I have to do. But it's like like I told you, I felt like I'm just getting my engine like oiled up, and it's like now the cylinders are all like cranking, and I'm like, if this is what I can see it barely running, what is it just full throttle down the highway?
100%.
Like, what is it? So I mean, I'm always striving. I can't.
If you had to say one thing about being a market owner, what would you say is the hardest part of it?
It's doing the things that you need to do, but you don't want to do. It's like, for example, the firing, or kind of coming in agreement to fire Jared Forrest, or having to say certain things to either a homeowner or an install, or having to say certain things to a knocker of like letting them go. I think it's just really more of taking, again, not being heartless, but using my heart less, being a marker. I think that's the biggest thing. Just because I'm a kind guy. But I've realized I've had to been an asshole.
Another thing too. So being that person in the office, would you say? I know that saying you just said is from a book that you've read. Would you say that you've done better to help change lives outside of work, or is it mainly like you're just drill sergeant in the office, or is it more involvement with people outside of work?
It's crazy you ask this, because I actually had a marketing owner, and I mean, won't list his name, but if he's listening, he'll know it's him. But he called me. I think earlier this week, and he was asking me about a closer in his room and wanting to get him better. And he's like, I've been seeing you take off and you're doing really good. It's like what do you do? Like, what's your opinion? And I told him, I personally think you need to have like better culture outside of work. I was like, I've became really, really close with my people outside of work. Like I told him I was an open invite to my house. Like, drop my address, said, guys, if you ever want to come over, I said, the door's open, just knock and I'll answer it. And so when I said that, most of my closers, like Chandler and Harry, won't even tell me they're coming over. They won't even say anything, and the next thing I know is I hear them trying to open my door, and they're trying to get in my house, and I'm just laughing. And they come over, we have dinner cooked, me, Sage, and Zoe. But it's an environment outside of work. And I think it stemmed from y'all too, especially from always going over to his house after work and then seeing you have people over at your house. And I'm like, that's the culture. People don't realize
they're winning for a reason.
Yep, people not realize that's the culture. And I told the marketer that. I was like, I talked about y'all too. I was like, I've seen it from Garrett, seen it from Dakota. Obviously, it's worked, and I was like, that's just kind of like the lifestyle I want.
I remember having those talks about Clay Davis, because Clay you were beating him down every day, and it was just work.
You had to be Big Red.
Yeah,
he's a hard head.
Yeah, and it was just constant. Every time we got on the phone, this motherfucker, like all the time. And I remember, you remember that conversation? I was like, dude, when was the last time you just hung out with Clay and didn't talk about work? You just cared about it.
Or more about, that's all we talk about is work, but it was more the fact is, when was the last time that I went and just did something with him?
Oh, that's what it was, of hanging out.
Yeah, like going to a breakfast before the meeting, bringing your clothes to a breakfast. We used to do that all the time at First Watch, but whenever I got to Austin, we didn't have somebody a restaurant right next to the office, so it was just never like a routine thing, right? So going to, plan a breakfast, hey guys, breakfast on me, let's all meet here at 7 o'clock, 7:30, and talk about the day or talk about the week. You know what I mean? And rather than just in the closer meeting. So,
but it's impossible. Sorry to interrupt, Dakota, but it's honestly impossible, Garrett, to get one of our people together like a closer and not talk about.
Yeah. Talk about work's the wrong saying, but we're going to talk about work, but do it in a masterminding type of setting. Because that's different of, hey, let's get better versus when I say talk about work, it was that constant. You suck at your job. You ain't working. You're not closing shit.
Literally.
That's what it was.
But also I think it refers back to if they feel like they're a business partner rather than an employee to you, then you're going to get more results.
That's the key to it.
I'd say this is my keyword that I always say to people, even in front of my whole office, is I never say they work for me. I say they work with me.
100%.
I had a server tell my whole group that. He was like, he was asking us what we do, and he's like, that's the boss, man. Like pointing me like, that's our boss. And he's like, that's weird because he told me that y'all all work together. We all don't work for him. They're like, really? Mm-hmm. And they're like surprised. I'm like, yeah, guys, like what? Like we work together. Like we're a team. But I even have to ask you all this question because I feel like I know both of y'all's answers. We all have the same mindset, and I might have to exploit this DM that I got from someone that now is not with Performance, and he talks about Louisiana people. Mm-hmm. But why do you think we're so crazy and hell-bent about, this opportunity with Performance Windows? Like, I know we've talked about it, but why has it, not ever died down yet?
I think my thought process is that the Louisiana culture does so good because we all take an initial jump of leaving home and leaving all of the distractions. So therefore, it's easier to change every aspect of our life to be better in this, and to fully dive in and immerse ourselves in Performance Windows versus if we stayed at home, like if we lived in Utah and we go into the corporate office, the only thing that's going to change is a couple hours of our day where I work is going to change. But the outside of work is the exact same of what I'm used to. I'm still going to go to the same restaurants that I go to. I'm still going to have the bad habits. I'm still going to have the distractions and the friends. I think that the only reason that we've had the success is because you're forced to burn the boats whenever you go into an office.
I do agree with that to an extent. Mm-hmm. So are you saying just as far as our Louisiana culture?
It kind of goes hand in hand. I see what you're saying now too as well, because it can be the Louisiana people, but then also the Louisiana culture. Because now
the culture it's grown further than that.
Because now it's not even say my office. Like I don't really have that many Louisiana. I mean I do, but I don't. But now I'm taking that Louisiana culture, I'm shoving it down their throats. Mm-hmm. Which is making them now be part of
the reason I was going to say that is because there's people that are in other markets that might not be their hometown, but they still don't have the same drive that we have. The reason that I believe is because we are consistently looking for more growth. Right? Mm-hmm. We no matter what, we were talking about it earlier, right? Yeah. Guess what? Somebody gets promoted to a market owner. Naturally, they want to put their feet up. Oh, I made it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But we're in the position that we've in the culture of what's already built is we preach it. As soon as I don't hire knockers. Mm-mm. I tell that people on my Indeed interviews. Yeah. I don't hire knockers. That's not what I do. I hire leaders to be in this company. If you're coming here to be a knocker, you need to go to a pest control. You need to go to a solar. You need to go do some of that. You know what I mean? But if you're looking for an opportunity to grow into a big time leader, a $1 billion organization one day, well, this is where you need to be. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because we don't hire employees.
We hire closers because closers don't want to be market owners.
Yeah.
If you don't want to go to the next level, there's no growth past that, so therefore you're hurting my office.
Yep.
You either breed based on growth or you breed based on what you got.
Yep.
And right now, I mean, we've got a sales office. You had a sales office. But with no revenue. But now you're focused on growth and getting people promoted.
And as a marketer mindset, I've realized I've thought 5 steps ahead. I think isn't it a book? Like thinking 5 steps ahead.
Patrick Bet-David. Yeah. The next 5 steps in business.
But no, I haven't read the book, but that's the way I think now of like my closers right now to my closers that are my soon-to-be closers to fresh knockers. Like I'm almost having a dialogue of a map of what it's going to look like for them coming in. But I think what you said is very true. Is you have people in different offices that's not their hometown, but why aren't they producing like we're producing? Mm-hmm. I think it's awesome to see what we've done for people in this company because...
Well, the thing is we chase growth, and so that's what motivates us. And the best part about Performance Windows at the stage that it's at, and it's going to continue to be, is that with the growth, we're able to impact more and more lives, right? Mm-hmm. The more that you can change lives, like changing my life's been changed. You know what I mean? I'm consistently changing it, obviously. Like, I'm continually revolving, growing. But at the same time, like, I get more satisfaction of seeing other people change their lives. You know what I mean?
It is.
Across the country now, especially like Cotton at a regional role. You know what I mean? Jacksonville, he ain't know none of them.
Nobody.
You know what I mean? Nobody. But they're, you know what I mean? Like, putting his hand on that and changing those people's lives. They're making more money than they ever have with it since they've been with Performance Windows. You know what I mean? Not just in Jacksonville. Tristan Rose has made more money since Cotton has been his regional and completely changed his life. And he's been in the window industry for what, 4 or 5 years?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And that's just because of like the growth. You know what I mean? The belief in what we do. And a lot of people, but I don't know. Is that I love that question because I also think that because then you ask yourself, okay, well then why are we also so obsessed with the growth?
So that's what I'm trying to get.
Why are we also so obsessed with the growth?
It hasn't died down yet, though.
Yeah, it hasn't died down yet, but some people never even got obsessed with it. And some people never got obsessed with it, and I believe the reason they're not obsessed with it is because they don't value it enough. They don't realize the opportunity they have. They don't, and I think some people are just, I mean, really and truly, I mean, it is what it is. Some people just ain't built like it. No. Straight up.
Even in the Denver, I mean, like your office in Austin, Texas, there's people who, because they have a cancer clawback, they'll quit the job.
Yeah.
You know, that's
second qualifying month.
Literally.
Gone.
About to change their life. And because of something that's out of their control, they'll quit the job.
Yeah.
You know, so it's different mindsets, but sometimes when culture is so strong, people can conform to the culture.
Yeah.
But if your culture is weak, then you just have people coming in and out. So it's a waiting room.
Yeah, it's a waiting room. It's just a lot.
Yeah, that is true. I've just
it's fucking whack.
I had to ask the question too because we had a very big competitor that's in my city right now within the window game that they basically told us like all the studs if they're not Louisiana boys then they're in pest control, and I was just like our own competitors telling us that basically saying not in an indirectly way. You are scared of the Louisiana guys if it ever comes to it, and you know that. And I'm in your city, and I have an office full of Louisiana guys, and we're coming for your neck. And I love it. I was like, he knows it. But I've just realized that too. It's just an energy and a passion that we have for an opportunity to forever change our whole family's life. Like you said, it's not even changing our lives because we've changed our lives. We made the money. It's really cool. But watching someone step in our office from day one, I love this as a market owner. A guy that you can tell is on the rough side. And then within 30 days, this dude is just like completely
totally different person.
I love it. It's like a drug you're taking of and changing people's lives. It's
like
awesome.
Jacko and all that stuff.
Well, the thing is, it takes time to build it up. Obviously, you're experiencing it now, like you were saying. Like you feel the culture in the room, you feel the intensity. Like now, whenever I don't even like my Indeed people, bro. You know what I mean? Or just like regular organic recruits. Like I let my team work with them. You know what I mean? Like they'll come in, I'll run the meetings and stuff like that, but I let my closers take ownership, and they can just feel the passion in the room. Like I had an Indeed person, she was knocking on one of the closers, and she was like, well, what you think about everything? She's like, oh man, like this is it. You know what I mean? And when you got people that are coming in on their first day and they're seeing that vision immediately, now you know you got something.
And just to tie it up though, I think it does come back to what I've always said too. A market owner has to be giving 150% effort for your closers to give 100% effort. And then the new guys that walk into the room, they're giving just 50%. But because the market owner is so high, people are going, it's like a magnet. You're the magnet of energy, the magnet of vision. It flows upward. Versus if your market owner is real weak, and then your closer is pretty weak too because the market owner is not held accountable. The people that come into the room, they're not even going to even sniff any of the opportunity. But it's just that market owner is the backbone of the whole office. So that market owner has to be the most invested to build that office.
But that's what it was. Even wrapping that up, I was like, I think I told you this. I got told 3 times from like newer people, and even someone's been there. They're like, I felt like it was like Wolf of Wall Street in our office. He said, but they said, but a little toned down. That's what they felt like the energy was, which was awesome. I thought it was awesome. I was like, that's super dope to hear that.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool deal. Well, that sounds good. You got any last words you want to
say? Going through rough times, just keep on trucking. You only fail when you quit.
That's right.
And I never quit.
We talked about that on the last episode.
Yeah, that's it. Yep. Just keep showing up.
Heck yeah. Well, that sounds good. Well, we appreciate you. Keep crushing. Keep doing what you're doing. You got I mean, this is only the beginning, really.
Yeah.
Now it started.
Yeah.
Compete with the big dogs.
Yeah, that's it. Cool deal. Well, hey, look, we appreciate all y'all watching. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, drop a comment below, and we'll catch y'all next time. Peace.
Thanks.